Hi guys. Alright, so this is like the third time I've tried to do this video. Mercury is so working against me today. We're just gonna try it. Alright, so Alchemist Mentorship Program. This is a program I'm really excited to launch, you guys. This is something that I've thought about for probably 5 years and it just hasn't felt right until now. I have been an entrepreneur since 2010 and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but I am very passionate about helping people succeed in life. That's why I'm a life coach. And so I'm really excited to be able to take the knowledge I have and help people who also have a passion for helping or are creative, but they're just maybe struggling with their business. I know how hard it is to be in this realm, especially as an entrepreneur. And then if you want to add the extra element of, you know, it's really hard to find your niche right now. Like, it seems like there's just so much of everything. And while social media is amazing because it gives us this opportunity to put all of our stuff out there, it also gives everybody access to tons of information. So there's like a million life coaches, right? Like, I'm a dime a dozen. So you have to find your niche in all of this, and then you have to find what's going to set you apart. So I really like to help people kind of hone in on that. And I really, really think that it's important that we utilize all the skills we have. So what makes me a little different is that I approach business from a very like analytical standpoint, but I also have that skill set of I can look at the moon, I can look at the zodiacs, I can look at chakras, and I can say, okay, you know, yes, you have an amazing ability to, I don't know, maybe you do distance Reiki. Yes, you have an amazing ability to like heal distance, but maybe your energy that you're putting out there isn't aligning with that. Or maybe you're just launching your stuff at the wrong time of the year. Maybe you're trying to do it and astrologically it doesn't line up. Or maybe you have an amazing idea, but the content you're putting out there doesn't align with your idea. So I want to create something for people where they have a support system. So, you know, we're not all born business minded. We're not all born with this skill set. And it's important that I think you have people to mentor you through this, just like you had someone to mentor you through your craft or whatever it is that you're doing. So for me personally, when I first started all of this back in 2010, I launched my very first business. I had no idea what I was doing. By the grace of God or whatever you want to say, I was really successful with my first business. My first business was called Symmetry Massage and Wellness, and it was a wellness center. And, you know, when I launched that business, I had a full intention of, you know, it going way down the road. But life changed and I received an opportunity to move to California and become a massage program director at a college, and it felt like the right thing at that time. So I ended up selling my business. And I have to tell you, like, looking back now, I don't even really know how I did that. 6 months in business and I was not only making a profit, but I sold my business, which is just like mind-boggling even to me now. So that was really the start of me becoming an entrepreneur. And I remember kind of thinking like, well, damn, if I can do that, I can do this again. So when I moved to California, I worked as a program director for years. And this on the side, I was also working as a life coach. So I set up my first business there. It was called Primal Cotton Wellness. And I was working as a life coach and I was helping people with like nutrition and food, and that business was really, really successful. And then when I moved back here to North Carolina, I set up my husband's business called Cotton Picking Restoration and Design, and we ran that business for almost 3 years. And we lived off of that business. We were very successful, and it was really the point where I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of good at this stuff. I have an eye for social media. I'm really, really organized, and I'm very determined. So since my husband's business, I have now set up my own business once again, Stephanie Cotton Coaching and the Caffeinated Gypsy. And I'm really good at being able to prioritize things. And what I've learned is that working with the moon cycles and looking at where things are astrologically, and then, you know, really tuning into yourself and seeing like what's going on with myself internally has been probably the biggest tools that have really made things kind of blow up for the businesses that I have worked with. One of the areas that for me personally, I think really helped my business expand was working on lower chakra issues. And, you know, your root chakra specifically has a lot to do with money. So when I work with people in any aspect, that's usually the first thing I go to is I'm like, okay, like what's going on with your root chakra? And a lot of times when people are struggling, it's because they're struggling with like money or finances or being secure. And so I like to look at that area first. So that's something I want to include in the coaching that I want to do with you guys. The mentorship program, the way I'm looking at it is I have like a plan in place, but I didn't want to say, hey, let's do this mentorship program and every week we're going to work on X, Y, and Z, because I feel like for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. And so the way I'm approaching it is I'm only taking 6 people on so that I can work with each person individually for those 6 weeks. So for the first week, we're going to do like a meetup and we're going to get to know each other before we even start working together. I'm going to look at your website. I'm going to look at your social media. I'm just going to get a feel for what you're doing. And just so you know, like everything that I do, like I've done. So if you look at my website, like I created my website. If you look at my Instagram, like I've managed all of that. I have a really good eye for photography and just how things look aesthetically. So I'm going to take a look at all of your stuff and I'm going to be like, okay, is this visually appealing? Are you posting enough? Is the content that you're posting helping your business? Are you posting stuff that's maybe hurting your business a little bit? So I'm going to look at the whole picture. And then we're going to sit down, have a meeting, and we're going to talk about like, what's your struggle? Where do you want to go with this? So we're going to work on branding stuff. We're going to work on content. We're going to work on how much time you're actually spending. We're going to work on creating a schedule, because I feel like it's very important that when you are working on your own business, you still have a schedule in place. And so I'm really big on structure and you really committing to your own business. And so we're going to work on that. And then we're also going to work on like timing when you launch things or when you're, you know, posting your stuff so that it's lining up astrologically as well. And then whatever else comes up along the way. But those are the main areas that I really want to focus on. And then if you need help with some of your branding and I can't help you, I have a couple of people that I can recommend and you can get aligned with those people. So my goal is really just to help you succeed. I want to help you feel good about yourself. I want you to be able to take this dream you have and make it a reality, because I know how frustrating it is to feel like you have a purpose in this world and then really struggle to put that purpose out into the world. There's nothing that's more defeating than being like, my calling is to help people, but I can't afford to do it. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to be able to guarantee you're going to make a ton of money after you work with me, because I don't know that. But I can guarantee you that if you work with me, I'm going to give you every single tool that I have. I'm not one of those people that's going to be like, well, I'm just going to share part of the information. Because I've worked with coaches like that, and it fucking sucks. I've paid people a ton of money to help me with my business, only to find out they're giving me like a fraction of the information. So if you decide to do this program, know that I'm going to give you everything that I have. And you're going to have 100% of my support for 6 weeks. You'll be available to me via email the whole entire time. So anytime you need something, you can always drop me a line and I'll get back with you within 24 hours. So stay tuned for the more updates. I'm going to be posting an outline on my website within the next week so you can see everything that it's going to include and how much it's going to cost and all of that good stuff. But I wanted to go ahead and jump on here and give you guys a heads up that it's coming, and I'm really, really excited, and I think it's going to be really, really fun. Thanks, guys.